Stop what you're doing and pay attention to this video because I'm gonna break down the 8 most important meme coins on the entire market. All of these are explosive, but right now, at the start of the video, I'm gonna explain a concept that if you don't understand, you're gonna remain poor for the rest of your life. This is a very, very important concept to understand. So stay tuned right until the end so you understand all the coins and all the reasons why they're gonna outperform the entire market. 1, 2, 3, no time to waste. Let's go. Very important video today. Alright guys, here we are. First we start with our preferred coin, MOMO. And today I'm going to be Professor Gustavo. I'm going to explain to you why we need to break this 40 million market cap candle close. And when we do, we're going to reach this thing called escape velocity. You need to understand this concept. I've designed some mathematics, okay, some blockchain mathematics. And if you don't understand this, you're never going to make money in crypto. So why is this the most crucial time for MOMO? Why? We're almost reaching escape velocity. Almost. Meme coin escape velocity formula, okay? It's this formula that I designed. V is escape velocity must equal the greed constant plus the hype mass divided by the depth of the trenches. The depth of the trenches is how wrecked and forgotten most coins are. So low liquidity, low volume, ignored by CT. And this depth has a lot of pull. And most meme coins, when they reach 20 million market cap, 50 million market cap, that depth pulls them so hard low that they die and they end up on that mass meme coin trench grave. But our escape velocity is going to be hit. So this is how fast this meme coin needs to move to leave the trenches and enter parabolic mode. And I'm going to explain with examples after, okay? So right now, our greed constant, which is how much FOMO is being generated in the market on MOMO, plus the hype mass, which is the total narrative weight, right now I think is very strong. And I think it's stronger than D, which is the depth of the trenches. So essentially, MOMO velocity needs to escape the gravitational trench pull. And we are right at that moment. So once we cross 40 million market cap, we enter escape velocity. Where is the escape velocity going to take us? Is it going to take us straight to 100 million? I think it's possible. I think it can. Or are we just going to go straight to 200 million market cap? Once we enter escape velocity, no one knows how fast and how high we're going to go. Or are we just going to go straight to 360 million market cap? We could definitely go there, or we could definitely just go to 550 million market cap. No one knows. And everything that happened thus far could just be flat because it's nothing compared to where we can go. And this is the most crucial moment for most memes right now. So you got to hold strong so we reach escape velocity. So essential, summing everything up, the deeper a coin is in the trenches, so if you have a high D, the more hype mass and greed it needs to hit escape velocity. If the hype is weak or the community doesn't go full cult mode, it stays stuck in the mud. But if greed spikes and hype compounds and the depth is low enough, that thing launches like a rocket ship. That's where we are. Here's a perfect example of escape velocity very similar to what MOMO can do. This is 𝗵𝗆. 𝗵𝗆 was here sitting at 10, 20 million market cap. Once it crossed that 40 million market cap zone, after that good accumulation, it went straight to 300 million market cap. It then corrected and it just didn't stop until 2 billion market cap. Of course, over a couple of months. But the first escape velocity pull sent it to 300 million market cap. And we are at that exact same moment, almost crossing 40 million market cap. So these are the important concepts that you need to understand, and you need to study my formula, okay? This is the formula that you need to study to understand the trenches. So Professor Gustavo is out. Let's continue with more meme coins and more charts. Now Troll. Troll is another one that's about to hit escape velocity. Look, if you can actually grab Troll between 37 and 29 million market cap, you're lucky if you can. I think at 40 million is probably a good buy regardless, because it's about to hit that same exact escape velocity that we're talking about in MOMO. It's at a very, very similar point. And yeah, I think Troll's gonna fly, and how high it can go, I don't know. It's very hard to understand escape velocity in terms of potential. So 100 million, I think it's a low ball, or I think you're low balling. 200 million, I think it's possible. I think it's 100% possible for Troll. Now let's get on to Colt. Colt at 50 million market cap, I think is a good buy, because you have previous resistance here, you have previous resistance here, and it's gonna, I think, turn into support to these two previous resistances, which right here, 50 million was also support. So you know 50 million is a good place to buy. And I do think with ETH doing all-time highs, stuff like Colt is going to do very well. It's going to outperform Pengu very likely, because you could have scooped it, as I predicted on a video 2 months ago, at 20 million market cap, where I was telling people that I was going to go long on MEXC. So Colt is a very good coin. It showed strength. I think 50 million is a good buy zone. Again, let's see what happens. This is an Ethereum coin, by the way. Then on Solana, again, 𝗘𝗫𝗥𝗧𝗡𝗥. I think anywhere close to 16 million market cap, if you can get it on this range here, look, between 20 and 16 million market cap, if it comes back here, I think it's a good buy. Why? Solana fork, supported by all the right people, supported by people like Anatoly, supported by people like LexNode, and it's actually a fork of Solana, which is interesting. I think this could be a good buy. And if you want to trade something that's not just a meme coin, it's kind of a meme, but it's also like tech, it's also a Solana fork, there you go, 𝗘𝗫𝗥𝗧𝗏. What I would do is I would go on the link down below if you want to join my private group, which is the Padre link, and I would leave a buy the dip order on Padre. Only Padre has these. ETH, you buy it, and you set your exit strategy, take profit, stop loss, and you enter. And you can do the same on Colt because 𝗘𝗏𝗏 is the only platform that supports EVM coins. So Ethereum Virtual Machine and SVM is Solana Virtual Machine. So you can buy Solana stuff and Ethereum stuff on 𝗘𝗏𝗏. All these other ones don't have what 𝗘𝗏𝗏 has. So you can also scoop some Colt there. But what I would do is set some limit orders there. 16, 17, 15. I would just stack a bunch of limit orders there when it comes to 𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏, just in case it get hit, because I think GOR is going to do well. Now, another one on ETH that you can trade on 𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏, which I think, based off this trend line here, the third top is probably going to be 120 mil market cap, and that is Elmeo. If we see ETH do all-time highs, this is one of those OG coins everyone forgot. I think between 14 and between 10 million market cap is where you stack some Elmeo. This is an OG coin, very OG coin, that started with this very famous trader called GCR. He's very famous. He's one of the people that made the most money in crypto ever. Giant, massive whale. And the last time we saw escape velocity on Elmeo, it just goes nuclear, straight line. And I think it probably finds resistance there at 120 mil. This is a pretty good trade, man. Look at the liquidity, 1.6 million. If you want to trade 6 figures in meme coin, 6 figures that can pull a 10x on ETH, you got Elmeo. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. Now, let's get on to my favorite altcoin community, the Pulse Chain guys, the Hex guys, the 𝗘𝗫𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 guys. Hex on the monthly. Hex is sitting at major resistance. Look at this resistance line right here. All throughout June, July, September, major resistance. Then turned into support. Now resistance again. Okay, this 8 billion market cap line, very important. By the way, good liquidity on Hex. You can only grab Hex on Pulse Chain. If this monthly closes above 8.3, what are we going to see on the next month? Possibly all-time highs when it comes to the Pulse chart, which would be above 24, like something like 27 billion market cap for Hex in the next 2 months. That's what I think is going to happen, which would be a 3x on your Hex. Interesting. Look, I love Hex. I have my Hex stake. I have no interest in trading Hex this cycle. I have it locked. I don't care. I have a small bag and I just have it locked for a long time. I don't trade Hex, but I do think it's at a crucial moment. And today's monthly close, which is going to be tomorrow, is going to say everything and determine everything for the next 2 months for Hex. And it's looking incredibly bullish. So Hex is finally going to break out of a bad 2 years. Finally. Everyone's saying alt season, but they're not looking at Hex, which is outperforming most alts from the bottom. They're definitely not looking at Pulse Chain, which from the bottom is up 180%. How many altcoins are up 180% from the bottom? You can still get almost a 10x until the top. And after the top, that's when Pulse Chain escape velocity starts. How high is Pulse Chain going to go? If Pulse Chain does what Hex did, it's going to go here. Look, it's going to go so freaking high. It's going to go to like 300 billion market cap like Hex did. Everything right now that happened to Pulse Chain is a nothing burger. It's going to be flat. It's going to be flat line. It's going to be nothing. Nothing hits escape velocity like 𝗘𝗫𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏. You see how serious my face is? You weren't here last cycle. There's only 2 things on Ethereum that did amazing. It was Shiba Inu and Hex. Everything else was a nothing burger compared to what Hex and Shiba Inu did. That's why I have MOMO, and that's why I have a big Pulse Chain bag, which I'm going to keep increasing every single month, at least until we hit all-time highs, because I think it's still cheap. Then there's PulseX, which is outperforming Pulse, up 15% on the daily. Once PulseX has its pull and its first parabola, which I think is going to outperform Pulse Chain, as I explained on my previous video, I'm going to switch some of my PulseX into Pulse Chain. I have just a tiny little bit more of Pulse Chain, but I want to have more Pulse, because I think over the long run, Pulse is going to slightly outperform PulseX, and I think Pulse and PulseX are going to outperform Hex. This is why. Look, Hex is a good trade, but Pulse Chain and PulseX, I think, in my opinion, are the best trades. They're going to do better because it's their first cycle, where Hex is the second cycle. Bitcoin is almost breaking its resistance here at very close to 118.8. How high is it going to go next? Is it going to go to all-time highs, or is it just going to be kind of limp and weak, and ETH is going to take the helm, and ETH is going to go to all-time highs at 5k, very close to 5k. We saw ETH outperform, which means alt season, which means altcoins are going to do very well, which means meme coins are going to slightly take the backseat, but there's going to be a Shiba Inu. We haven't had a Shiba Inu yet, and Shiba Inus don't happen in the trenches on Twitter. They happen on YouTube. What does YouTube love? This is my bet on the next Shiba Inu. Troll, amazing meme, but it's a standard meme like the others. It's based off a real meme. There's no IP issues with MOMO. There's no IP issues with Shiba Inu. Everybody loves 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 even more. I love Troll. I think Troll's going to do great, but potential-wise, I think MOMO's even better. Colt coin, if you want something NFT related, you have Colt. It's better than Pengu, okay? It's better than all the trash that has launched at a billion FTV. All the ladies, they kind of rule crypto right now. They're the cool kids. 𝗘𝗫𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 is your tech trade on Solana, which is like a bit of a meme tech. Elmeo is a good bet on a good liquidity meme on ETH that's based off of a cat, that's based off of the way cats laugh, which is Elmeo. And the idea was spawned by one of the massive, biggest ETH whales out there, GCR, big trader. Hex is breaking multi-E resistance. Pulse chain, if it pulls a Hex, it's going to be 1000x from the bottom, 1000x from the bottom, a liquid 1000x. Same for Pulse chain. Anyways, I'm repeating myself. See you guys tomorrow. I hope you like Professor Gustavo. I hope you like my meme coin escape velocity formula. This applies not just to Momo, but any meme coin out there. And I think you need to start understanding greed, hype, mass, and the trench depth, okay? This depth. And then you understand escape velocity and you understand the potential of things in the trenches. Thank you very much. I'm Professor Gustavo, and it was a pleasure teaching you about meme coin physics. Bye.